Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tarot the Stash Way. Today, we're talking about the suit associated with Earth. Many of us know it as Pentacles. So, hello, hello. Just getting caught up. I have everything set up, and I am I see the notices pop. So, I am glad you're here. Can everyone hear me okay? I hope everyone is hydrating. Professor Stash, yes. Per Professor Staff. Okay, yes. Jane the Seeker is napping. If you missed Tuesdays with Tarot Stash on Jane, exclusively on Jane the Seeker, like and subscribe to Jane the Seeker Tarot and to me, and you will be notified when we go live for the next one, and it is scheduled. So I am glad you are here. Thank you. Last time, we had a wonderful conversation about the suit associated with water or cups. And I wanted to open it up and ask if anyone had any leftover questions from that before we dive into the suit associated with Earth. So hit the thumbs up. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I have my notes ready. Yeah, I have my notes ready because we all know I'm an overachiever. Um, but if you do have a question, please put it all in capital letters with some emojis so I can see it. And like and subscribe to my channel. The playlist for Tarot the Stash Way is in the comments. So if you're watching back, thank you. And don't forget to do that. So, um, so it does not appear to that anybody has any questions. So let's go through and say hi to some people who are here. Sherry H, Voices from the Swamp, was first in. Hello. Calla Lizzie has got their notebook ready and making a sandwich because, yes, you do need to have nutrition to do this. Heather, Indigo Jaguar Intuitive, and I'm hoping Beth Aspasia Rising. Hello, hello. And Pamela Batchelor is here. Hi. Jane the Seeker. Hello. And Jamie is here. Good to see you, Jamie. Thanks for the support. And everyone, thank you for the support. Kareen Binter is here. Hello. Oh, you like the intro? I like it too. I made several of them with different sounds. So Robin is here. Toadstool Tarot. Hello. And Lorraine Morris. Hello. And we have a good question from Heather. Will you be going through the numbers for each suit? I will be going through the numbers. I'm going to be looking at the numbers. So we'll look at all of the aces, we'll look at the twos, and we'll talk about the numerology associated with those. Depending upon how much time I have, I may talk about the aces and then talk about them associated with each suit. But for those of you who are just joining, here's the idea is the idea is that as we go through these, you write down information. And as we're going through the suits, you write down the information about the suit of cups or water. You put it on a piece of paper, and then when we go through each of the cards, the minors, the 8 through 10, you write down stuff about that, and then when you pull a card and intuitively it's not making sense to you, or you need some help, then what you can do is you can pull out, okay, let's say, you have the ace here, and then I have my water thing, my water sheet here, and then I can look at them and combine them. So I like to think of them as it's like cheat sheets. So, but that's how I'm going to do it. And I've shown you all my notebook before, so got a lot of notebooks. So I hope that answers. So yes, Heather, I'll be doing this for a while. So, and Medium Betsy Palmer is here. Hello, here for a few. Skeevy Nix, hello. Justin Michael, hello. Thank you. Good to see you. Running for work and late per usual. Don't be late. Don't be late. So, um, and yeah, that intro is definitely Monty Python. Ishi is here. Shinjin. Layla, hello. And Jonathan. Oh, did I see Jonathan? Did I see Jonathan? Is Jonathan here? Hi, Jonathan, if you're here. Yeah, I don't see Jonathan. Anyhow. All right. Joe is here. Hello, Joe. Good to see you. There's Jonathan. All right. I'm into these manila tags. Yeah, I love them. They're really great. They're great for information and little gift cards and in journaling. So, okay. So last time I talked, I mentioned that I'm not going to be suggesting any specific decks because I want this to be able to be used with any of the decks. And this is how I use this information in my practice. You may not, and this is, of course, for entertainment purposes only, or as Manasa from Manasa Wellness says, for inspirational and educational purposes only. And this is my approach. There are lots and lots of resources out there and available for you. I have 2, 4, 6 books right over there. So I've pulled a lot of information. If you're looking for a book, pick one that resonates with you, spend time with it, read the introduction, highlight it like mad. And then, like I have said, pick a second book, something that challenges you and forces you to think deeply. Get a notebook. I have a couple of notebooks, and one of my favorites is a 3-ring binder so that I can add and take out notes. So, and again, as I said, the goal is for you to have a resource to support you as you grow your relationship with the tarot through the suits. So, and I'm checking in. Does anybody have questions from the cups, from the suit associated with water? Because if not, I'm going to move on to, oh, thank you. Please like and subscribe, ring the bell. Jonathan is lurking while pulling out all my decks to organize and purge. We have a question from Layla. One of my favorites is the Robin Wood Tarot, which is right here. The Robin Wood Tarot is one of my favorite books. Tarot for Yourself is a great one by Mary K. Greer. Holistic Tarot by Benabel Wynn is a great resource, very, very thorough. This is the one for me that I have that challenges me a little bit. The Rachel Pollack is another one, 78 Degrees of Wisdom. Rachel has several books that are out. People like different ones for different reasons. So those are a few of mine. Um, all right. Beth asked, Gerald, do you find it interesting to note which suits are our least favorite and most favorite, or what insights can that offer? Do you find it interesting to note which suits are our least favorite? Um, you know what? Um, that's a good question, and I'm not noticing that which are people's least favorites or most favorite. But I think when I am not having an affinity with a suit, I think there is some learning in that for me, because if I am not connecting with, let's say, the suit associated with Earth or Pentacles, what is that telling me? What opportunity do I have to learn from that? Oftentimes, it is because I may not be grounded, or I may need to bring in some of the things associated with the suit of Earth into my existence. The ones that are my favorites, I think that those can be both strengths and weaknesses, because if I am just going, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense to me, I think it's one of these things. Just because it's my favorite, I still need to spend time with it. I don't want to take it for granted. I hope that helps. Getting caught up. Calla Lizzie has all those books. Such a hoarder. Spiritual Rain, hello. Glad to have you here. And I have difficulties with swords. Okay, we will talk about that. Plan to be here perhaps next Monday. I may be doing Tarot the Stash Way Swords on Monday. Okay. Depends upon the deck. All the suits are good. My least fave suit and the one I at least relate to is Cups. To me, that's a reveal. Okay. Maria, our Lady Knight of Avalon, is here, and Maria and I are going to be doing a deck casual together sometime in the future. And Corrine, are any of the pentacles specific for a yes or no question? I will star this and we'll try to get to that toward the end. Gomez Adams is here. Hello. Layla, never pull a sword or wands. Wow. Okay. I I guess that's a good thing, or it's just a thing. So, all right. All right. So I got that taken care of, talking a little bit reminders. And so let's talk about the names. What names are mostly associated with the suits associated with the element of Earth? What are some of the names that you have or you've heard? OMG, I went buying crazy in 2020. So many books but I find I've only settled to only a handful of tarot books and really love adjacent books on mythology, art history. Yeah, I love that. Air. So, okay. And Heather said we have discs. Yes, discs, coins, pentacles, discs. Both Justin Michael and Maria said that, coins. I have also seen, okay, Joe said crystals, yes. Yeah, Justin Michael and Maria said it both at the same time. Joe said rocks, there's crystals, yes, very much so. Um, Simply, you could also refer to these as earth. I've heard that referred to, and um, and we have Jonathan said pentacles, coins, discs, earth, stones. Beth said in the wandering moon, the pentacles suit is stars. Okay. Mandalas, yes, Lorraine. Trees, I could absolutely see trees. Um, am I right that they appear on acorns and thimbles in some themed decks? Yes, that would absolutely make sense, Shinjin. Sand dollars in the White Sage Tarot. I need to write that one down. I don't have that one written down. Thank you. Boons, yes. And Robin is right. Think about the suit of earth or things associated with earth and what those might be: dirt, potting soil, mud, gravel, grass, underground. I might not say mud because mud seems to be a bit northwest. When you mix water and earth, you get mud. So, um, Tracy Ralph is here. Hello, Tracy. Just sent you an email. Oh, Beth said petals. So the reason I mentioned this is, Robin also said clay. The reason I mentioned this is because uh, um, deck creators, what they're trying to do is they're trying to convey the aspects of earth. Sand, north, yes. Maria said seeds, yes. Um, so, okay. Some of the ones that I have written down include crystals, coins, pentacles, bones, caves, wheels. I've seen diamonds, um, shields, trees, and I like that sand dollars. Oh, hey, Kathy. Tortoiseshell Moon is here. Hello. Did not have C's written down. And bowlers, I believe, are on the, oh, I cannot remember the name of the deck, but I think it's bowlers. So, all right, I'm going to take a sip and think about making sure that everything is caught up. Yeah, I like bones. Oh, on the labyrinth, tarot used junk for the earth suit. Okay. Now, I want to talk about basic correspondences now. Oh, I see mushrooms, I see chestnuts, and Zane is here. Hello, Zane. Good to see you. Good to see you. And one of the things that I read today as I was preparing for this is it's one of the basic correspondences. When we think of pentacles, it's the five-pointed star. And one of the things that is talked about is pentacles are a magical symbol that has been around for a long time, and people wore it as protection. So it's one of those things that there's a lot of history that are steeped into these meanings. So glad you caught that. So correspondences. Now, this is where we spend a lot of time between correspondences and the suit qualities. What are some basic correspondences? I will start north. I associate the pentacles with the direction of north. I also associate Pentacles with winter or night or midnight and the new moon. So thinking about the wheel of the year, Pentacles are north. And so I would associate the correspondences with those things. So Kathy said in the Tarot of the Vampires, I think it's skulls and apple cores, pentacles. Yes, if you were to, let's say this is an apple and here's the stem, if you cut it this way instead of this way, so you cut it this way horizontally and you open it up, you can see the shape of a pentacle in that. So Tracy sees it as Earth. Maria, in terms of seasons, I see them as autumns and fall harvest. Okay. Autumn for Pentacles. Okay. I personally pick Earth more related to winter for me. Spiritual Rain says Pentacles represent everything about my home, my physical body. Yes. Edna May is here. Hello. Calla Lizzie said Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And Skevenix, I get that. What I'm thinking of is when I specifically am looking is I am associating them with the season as it falls to the wheel of the year. So correspondences could also be Mother Earth. If this is the suit associated with Earth, then Mother Earth. What sort of creatures would you associate with the suit of Earth? Tracy said stability in trees. Saturn, yes. Tony is here. Hello. Okay. Animals, dragons, bears. Hello, Peter J. Watts. Bears. Critters, bears, deer, moose. Badgers. And one of the things, like gnomes. Gnomes are associated with Earth. Stags as well, yes. Wolf, bear, big cats. That makes a lot of sense. What other elemental correspondences might you find with the element of Earth? Calla Lizzie said rabbits. She was mentioning dwarf folklore. Crows. Lady Night. Fairies. Fairies could be, depending upon the type of fairies, they could be a little air, they could be a little sword or wandy because sometimes they're mischievous. You could also associate with the correspondence of the crone. Sometimes we hear this idea of the maid, the mother, and the crone. The suit of Earth or Pentacles could be associated with the crone. And I could also see this as the if we're looking at the wheel of the year or a lifetime, this would be old age. So and so crows or ravens, it could be associated with Earth, because crows and ravens fly. They have a command of the air, so that could be. Demeter, yes, exactly because of the history. Layla asked, how long have I been doing this tarot? I have been reading tarot up over 25 years. So I've been studying a lot. So, and mushrooms and fungi. So there we go. So, Kathy also said diamonds. So in thinking about, I also overlap things. Whereas if I were to put the phases of the moon on top of the wheel of the year, or the times of day, this would be midnight. And phases of the moon is this, the earth would be the new moon. So crystals as an elemental, yes. Hi Amy, good to see you. Good to see you. Nighttime, yes. So, oh, you all are so wonderful. So, I'm going to I'm going to put up a commercial so that we can move to the suit qualities, or the qualities of the suit.
Today's program is brought to you by walls. They hold stuff up. Walls. Yeah. Walls.
Aren't walls important? They hold stuff up. Thanks to Tangi Roman Biscotti, who sent that to me. So, all right, let's get caught up in chat. You are all doing wonderfully with this. Mountains, yes, yes. This is I'm very excited, and if I start talking, if I start talking too quickly, it's because you all are thinking about this in a way that draws on your own experience. What associations do you have with the earth, or the element of earth? Julie's cooking, but I'm sure she'd have interesting insights to these timing questions. Yes, I love a good timing thing. I'm all about the timing. I am, and this is, Peter, I will just say this, I am an overcomplicator and an overachiever when it comes to timing, and matching the time of the year, time of the day. It's sort of crazy like that. Getting caught up on chat. I found mountains to be a blend of earth and air. I could see that, Jonathan, especially because they go up into the earth. And yeah, walls are really great, aren't they? Walls. They also keep neighbors from peeking into our private stuff. Yes, yes, they do, Robin. Walls do that. Carla Astrology is here. Hello. You are right on time. You are right on time. Camping, I get that. Sherry said, I have always loved the smell of turned earth right after it's tilled for seeds after harvest. Something about that smell. Yes. Gardening. Yes, these are all very important associations that you already have with the element of earth, that when you are reading tarot will support you. Don't think, don't separate your own experiences, and rely just on what people have said in books. Use your own experience, because it's really, I love this idea of gardening and tilled soil, because those things can really, really help as you are reading into the suits. Okay, so timing is my superpower. Love that. Love that. Yes, oh yeah, I can imagine that. Pentacle is associated with grounding and feeling at home, feeling safe. Yes. Being grounded, absolutely. And I saw Deb H pop in. Hello. Pentacles, grounding, feeling, feet, connection to the ground. Absolutely. Spiritual Rain said feminine energy, but then cups would be too. Very interesting. Isn't it? I personally, and this is my view, I think all of the aspects, all of the directions have a sense of masculine or feminine or projective, receptive, solar or lunar energy about them. They're all powerful. There tends to be an affinity for each of them. So I think it's fun. And yes, shamanic journey absolutely could be. Hagstones. Love me a good hagstone. Richie got me one. Um, so let's talk about some of the attributes of or the qualities of the suits of Earth. So when you think about this, I'm going to start it off, and the suit of Pentacles or the suit. All right, here we go. Let's take another sip. Cheers. The suit of Earth or Pentacles, coins, whatever you want to call it. Enjoy. Catch us later, Kareen. And these are things that are physical. Practicality, being practical, yes. And I also think about this as the physical environment, our home, the things that are offer us security. Uh, these are things that are established. So, and stability, pragmatic, senses, very much the senses. And that's a good word, Joe, because the senses are, it's the physicality and steadiness. That is a great word as well. Um, so think about it in things that you can touch. And I am seeing Shinjin said planting, reaping, gifts, money, growth. Yes. You can also think about things such as your family. This is your heritage. And your family, I believe, can include your coworkers, your ancestors, people around you. So, and the sense of touch, maybe. Substance and material things, material girl, yes. Uh, make a nerve, yes. And it's the idea for the continuation of. So, thanks, Layla. Curated family, I like that. Okay, indicate self-care, wise, rest, the physical body, health. You are all nailing this, okay? I just want to say you're nailing this. Thank you. So yes, let's talk about that. Okay, it's money, it's your finances, it's industry, it's the things that you do. Think about this in the sense, looking at this as these are the people who would be working with their hands, the artisans, the merchants. These are people who would not be intellectual, but they would be building things. They would be testing things out like that. I love that. Home, um, creativity, workplace, earth ancestors, family home. Robin, that's a really nice question, and I'm going to star that. Maybe I'll get back to it later. I think of it as about self-sufficiency, frugality, living off the land, hobby, farming, the providers. Yes, yes. And being an artist and think about this. Yeah, the craftsmen and women, all things physical or material, including manual skills. Those are really wonderful things. And of course, when you are looking at readings and you're doing readings, also think about this as security, and protection, and its physical safety. Uh, these are also things, and this would be something that I would want you to write down. It's wisdom and tradition, and think of it as things that are established. They are not necessarily in process. They are things that are established and are material. And I just saw Julie Kushawat said there's a lot of intellect goes into building things. Yes, there are. And if it sounded like I went that you don't use any intellect, that's not what I meant, because somebody has got to figure out how to make it work. So um, I love it. Crafting, artwork, using tarot for manifestation, magician on earth. Yes, foundations, building. Um, this is also, people talked about the physical body, and this is oftentimes, sometimes in a reading, you might see your health coming up, and it's your nutrition, it's the exercise, it's making sure that everything is in working order. It is one of those things. um, I like to go when I go to a doctor, I like to call them well baby visits. These are my visits to make sure that my body is staying in working order. It's the regular tune-up. So, um, also things associated with Earth or Pentacles could be memories, and it could be the idea of success because you've worked hard for it and it has become established. I am really, really enjoying this. Also, yeah, and well-being, I think Tony said well-being, and I think well-being is certainly part of it because I think well-being is when all aspects of the elements are working in unison so that your overall well-being and your emotional well-being um, is in unison with your body. So, yep, 7 and 9 of Pence. Yep, the act of making music could be another crossover. No, yeah, oh yeah, oh definitely. Ooh, maybe that's what do you think? Maybe we need to do a crossover. What might cross quarters be? What might it look like when you put water and earth together, or air and fire together, or fire and water? Would you like that? Leave a comment below. Um, Thinking about old age, maybe success is related to retirement. It could be. It could be. Very holistic, yes. Mhm. And Robin also said pentacles, drum heads, and wheels. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, as we think about the qualities associated with the element of earth with the suit, thinking about this, um, this is about working with your hands. And if we think about if we think about this in wintertime, what are we doing most of the time? We are actually inside, we're around the fire trying to stay warm. We're mending the things that need repairing because we've used them so much during the growing season. This is when a lot of times people would be educating themselves. They would be reading stories to each other. They would be teaching the children. This might be the time when children were maybe the only time they went to school. So it was focused on that. So um, okay, just like okay. So yes, there is some interest in that. Yes, we've got yes, do a crossover. Yes. Okay, and there's a book, Tarot Elements, that deals with. I have to write that down. Please hold. Here, should I put up another commercial while I do that? Here, we'll put up another commercial. Here you go.
Today's program is brought to you by glass bottles and containers. Glass bottles and containers are great for holding stuff, and they look great. Glass bottles and containers.
Glass bottles. Wouldn't that be awesome? So, by Melissa Sinova. Okay, I believe I am missing a lot of things in the chat, so my apologies. Now, qualities. Now, why is it important to think about the qualities when we are thinking about tarot and reading with them? The reason is when we think about pentacles, think of, I associate them with earth. And what are those qualities of earth? You've named so many of them. It's quite beautiful. Family, money, health, your physical body, security, money, career, tradition, wisdom, things that are established. It certainly could also be instinct because it's so natural, we just do it. It's also this idea of grounding and earthing. Skeevy was saying, had mentioned grounding, and I think somebody also mentioned it, but it's also the idea of grounding and earthing. So perhaps when you are doing a reading and you get a lot of pentacles or coins in that reading, and this is a reading about going to school, what might that mean? If somebody is asking on whether or not they should go to school and they get a lot of pentacles about in that, what might that mean? I'm just catching up on chat. Instinct, I was connected with water. Instinct and intuition are two different things. Instinct is that fight, flight, or freeze response. Intuition is that just is a slightly different knowing, but I agree with you. So thanks, Layla. Bye. Developing skills, yeah. Instincts that comes through the senses, yes. It's the survival instinct. So when a lot of pentacles come up in a reading about it could be. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm so excited. When a lot of pentacles come up, it means there are things that you need to do that help to ground you. Of course, it depends upon the question and the placement. It could be nurturing, Shinjin said. Kala Lizzie said that they need to educate themselves in the basics before they can move on to school. Certainly could be, yes. heritage and talent. I also think, um, I also like to think of this as there's a bit of street smarts about Pentacles to me. Somebody just knows how to handle things. Now, that depends upon where it falls in the suit, of course. What number, if it's a court card or one of the numbered cards. Um, so also, I have not mentioned this before, but thinking about Earth, it also deals with strength and the physicality. People, I like to think about this, it's the physical body, but it's what you can do with your body. It's you can move mountains. You can, balance two pentacles. You can make eight pentacles. Those types of things. So yeah, nurturing. Yes. Gerald group. Do you do which majors do? Oh, um which majors do we associate with the suit of Pentacles? Hmm. Which majors do you associate with the suit of Pentacles? Pop quiz. I actually think about this very much in the sense of I would say things like the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant. So strength, I could see that, yes. Maybe since Pentacles are the only solid sign Earth coins, when you get them, you need to solidify things related to your passion, thoughts, and emotion. Robin, that is really um, quite striking. Yes. Magician, world, the wheel, the tower, the devil. Isn't street smarts in the body a long way of saying instinct? Yes. I was just trying to be street smart, but it didn't work. Yeah, yeah. That's a really good question, Ishi. I think maybe when I finish with, because next up is going to be swords and then wands, maybe let's talk about the majors as they're associated with the suits. I could certainly see the Hanged Man, and death and rebirth. Yep, world devil. And see, and this is the challenging thing is and this is where it gets fun, but it can also get overcomplicated. Is I think because the major arcana or the major arcana are the big lessons or they are the archetypes. I think the archetypes have all aspects of the suits embedded in them, and there's some of them is there is a feeling of natural connection to them. And I also am aware that and I do not have my chart with me, but there is a chart of the major arcana and where they fit with the wheel of the year, as well as with the astrological signs. So, um, and this is where I encourage you to get your connection. What qualities of it are work for you? The Empress has to be the major, most associated with Pence. I would agree with you, but I would also say the Emperor. And don't you know it? I'm down with the kids. So, just getting caught up. I ask because there's traditionally assigned elements to and Astro, but sometimes we are drawn to think differently. I absolutely agree with you. And when you are drawn to think differently, I would make sure you write it down on in your notebook, and write down why. Because sometimes when you're reading and you intuitively get a strike about something, what does that mean? Why is that important? And what does it have to do for the reading? So, so Skeevy Nick said, I often find the energies of the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles somewhat muddled. I think the two of them are very related. The Queen of Pentacles and the Empress, they're like sisters to me. So, all right. We are almost to the hour, and I just want to also share a few things about the elements and the other qualities. And part of these is now the suit qualities. We talked about many things that were positive. So, this is somebody who is down to earth, it's steady, um, it it has endurance, it's sensible, it could be organized and orderly. But what are some of the not so affirming qualities about the suit of earth? And somebody who could be um, somebody could be so attached to something that there's a lot of attachment to it. It could be they're so established that they have no ability to change. So think about that as well. Um, there's this idea of being greedy. If you're saving your money, be careful, stubborn, resistance to change. The rigidity, inability to change when it's necessary, greed, absolutely. Selfish, stubborn, closed-minded, like a Taurus. Is that spoken like a Taurus, Tony? Um, this is somebody who is um, so focused on how things are going, they don't want to do anything different, so they are not very exciting. They're not spontaneous at all. And this could be something that's just ordinary because it's there all of the time. When you pass a building all of the time or that lovely tree, do you notice it? So, um, somebody who's hard headed, those are things to think about as well. Yeah, very routine. Maybe superficial, incapable of connecting with others. Yes. Somebody who wants just to tear things down instead of protecting them and build them up. And they only trust what they can see or touch. They're so focused on their senses. Um, so stability, strength, grounding, earthing. Now, we've also talked about the idea of the correspondences, and previously on A Laugh and Learned, we talked about the four pillars of the magus: to know, to will, to dare, to keep silent. To know, to will, to dare, to keep silent. Which one of those is associated with Earth? This is a pop quiz. To know, to will, to dare, to keep silent. Which is associated with the element of Earth? I'm looking at the chat, and Layla's back. And yes, the person who could be person who is not a healthy relationship with the aspects of the earth could be lonely and just getting caught up. Um, I think the Knight of Pence really sums up the entire energy of the suit. Slow moving, practical, not very exciting, but gets the job done and dependable. Yes. And there are astrological associations. So we have silence, to will, to know. Um, when Earth as a foundation is shaken, we often get anxious. That's true. Silence. Okay. When I think about the options again are to know, to will, to dare, to keep silent. And I look at it as the to keep silent because this is that idea of stability and strength and keeping, because when you're silent, then what you have put out there is going to move forward without being interrupted. So, okay. There's a form of sensuality, exciting the senses with taste and touch in earth signs linked to Pentacles. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, um, think about things associated with earth and what visuals might you have like that. Some people mentioned the idea of the tree. The tree, I think, is a great association with the element of earth. And trees, what do? The roots go really deep and they become established. And so there's a deep connection. And when you think about a tree, you're not seeing this. When you think about a tree growing down, and if that tree is too solid and doesn't move with the wind, what's going to happen? It's going to break. And so it's something to keep in mind because um, there's always a balance for the things associated. And Kalalizi said, to know is earth, to will is wands, to dare is cups, and to keep silent is earth. Yes, yes, it is. So that's how I see it, Kalalizi. So, okay. So, um, yeah, you see all those big trees down in a storm. Yeah, that's something to consider. Um, so you are learning. Yes, yes. Um, before we end, what are your takeaways? This is where I'd like to hear from you about takeaways so that I can write some suggestions down for the next time when we talk about the suit associated with air. Now Shinjin asked autumnal tones and earthy tones. I think I mentioned this before. These are I think all colors can be associated with each of the directions. It's just their intensity. So I think these are those colors that are deep, and they're not jewel tones, but they're deep. They have drops of black in them, so they're a bit more subdued. So, so, Beth, I use dare with to know, to will. I use fire with will, and then but we can talk about that. So, takeaways are usually the earth sign: burgers and fries, onion rings and shakes. Don't forget your change. That's correct. And don't forget to leave a tip. So, love the qualities. Everyone's take on it is different and eye-opening. I especially like the associations with seasons and timing. I like the idea of bringing our affinities with the element to our readings. I will give that more consideration. Skeevy, I'm glad to hear that, because don't don't discount what you already know and what you're looking at, because I bet most of us in the room have some great experiences out in nature, or getting our hands dirty, doing hard work, putting those ideas into actions, with our hands. So, yeah, dark umbers, pine green, yes. Tarot is very personal. Yes, and I do, Beth. I associate the pentacles with the suit of, or with the season of winter, and uh, the Wildwood tarot has a really wonderful, wonderful thing with it. So about that. So yeah. And I bet I have missed a bunch of chat. So animals that are associated with earth, bears. I'd never thought how closely they were associated. So um, Beth and Jonathan have the same birthday, so right? Wouldn't that make sense? So, all right. If there are no other questions, we will adjourn class until, I believe, next Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And Long Stash, I am on Longman Tarot on Friday. We are doing our Maybon readings at 2 p.m. Eastern. So, Robin says, also think of Pentacles as an investment. Yes, yes, yes. School has never been so fun. Aw. Orshi and Calla Lizzie have the same birthday. Yep, Richie. Thanks for being here. Everybody, thank you very much. I'm glad you are thinking deeply about it. It is actually forcing you to think about things and the practicality of what you can do with the suit. You all are so special. Thank you. Well, of course, Purple Elephant Deb H. And Carla Astrology's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday. That's cool. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm glad people are liking this. I do have the idea of the cross quarters, talking about that. That's something that I personally have been working on. I'm wondering if that might be, it could be Tarot the Stash Way, and I want to get through the elements, and then talking about the numerology, because you notice I'm starting with the minor arcana first, and then I will work on considering the majors. So, all right. Everybody, thank you so very much for being here. I'm going to say, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your day, and take care. Thank you. Bye.